Today we are making a video on Ubuntu Cinnamon Remix 23.04 Beta Edition. Ubuntu Cinnamon Remix is a flavor of Ubuntu. From now on, they released it or they announced it, and here is the boot menu of Ubuntu Cinnamon Remix 23.04 Beta Edition. In order to boot in a live mode, you need to click on try or install Ubuntu Cinnamon. This is for safe graphics. OEM install for manufacturers. This is to test memory. Let's boot in a live mode. Click on enter. It takes a few seconds, almost like 30 to 40 seconds to load up the desktop. So let's wait for it. Here is our Ubuntu Cinnamon Remix logo loading after 10 to 15 seconds. So maybe still 15 to 20 seconds. We need to wait for the desktop. I'll tell the actual seconds after the desktop layout loads. I think we'll be getting a desktop now. Let's wait for a few seconds and see. Here is our Debian lookalike wallpaper. Here is our welcome screen. It almost took like 2 minutes after clicking the try or install live boot. From there to here it took almost 2 minutes. This is the welcome screen, and if you need to choose your language here, choose any language you want. You have two options here, either boot in a live mode or install directly from here. I'm going to first test it and I'm going to show you the installation process later. Let's try Ubuntu Cinnamon here. It's again going to take a few more seconds, like 20 to 30 seconds, plus it's still in a beta edition, so it's going to take more maybe. So let's wait for it. It almost took 20 seconds. Here is our desktop layout. We are having software updates available to download. First, let's change the display resolution. I am running it on a VMware with 40 GB of hard disk and 4 GB of RAM and 2 processors. Let's change the display resolution by clicking the menu button or app menu, or you can also call applications. Let's go to preference and display, or you can either search here with a search term display. I'll show you display. As you can see, my monitor is 1920 into 1080 and it's a 16:9 ratio. I'm going to choose this. Choose anything you want. You need to know what resolution is your monitor first. Click on apply. Here we have confirmation again, and the display is changed. If your font size or text size is not visible properly for you, you can change the monitor scale up to 200%. If you're choosing 1920 into 1080p, it's better. 150 is the perfect matching for this thing. So let's close, and we have a bug already here. So it's better to test this. If you are a person who want to test, then you need to download the beta version. If you are a normal user, you don't need to download. Just wait for the stable version. Let's first go to the system monitor. Even if you are a normal user, just don't download the stable version as it is released. Just wait for 15 days like that. If there are no bugs or encounters like that, you can download it and install it. If you have bugs, they will release a point release like 23.04.1. so it's better to wait instead of ruining your PC even after the stable release. Here are the processes running at the startup, and here is the system monitor resources consuming before launching any apps. I just launched a settings app, that's it, nothing more than that. Here are our CPUs running almost 25%, under 25%, and RAM is almost 1.7 GB. We didn't even launched anything, it's already 1.7 GB. It's consuming very high, and I think, in my opinion, it's not a low-end PC Linux distro. It's not for low-end PC. As you can see, 1.7 GB already. After opening every app, it's almost consuming like 2.5 GB. And my CPU is almost 12th gen i5. It's the latest CPU. As you can see, here is our graph. Let's check the about system monitor. It's a 44. Let's type in few commands in the terminal. Before that, we check the version of the terminal, which is the latest version of GNOME 44. Let's type in INXI B INXI G CAT ETC issue. Let's look all these things. A Cinnamon version. Before that, let's change the color of the terminal. Let's go with the GNOME light so you can see properly. A host is a Ubuntu Cinnamon. We are running as Ubuntu Cinnamon remix, so it's going to say Ubuntu Cinnamon. A kernel is latest version 6.2.0-18 generic, and the distro Ubuntu 23.04 Lunar Lobster. Ubuntu Cinnamon remix is now Ubuntu flavor, one of the Ubuntu flavor, so it's going to show Ubuntu. It's officially said, and the version of Cinnamon desktop environment is 5.6.7. I'm running on a VMware, so it's going to show VMware. Phoenix version is 6.0, and here is the date. This is my processor and the RAM. Xorg is version 1.21.1.7, and VMW GFX version is 2.20.0. Here is my display resolution. OpenGL version 4.1, Mesa is 23.0.1. My hard disk is 40 GB. It's going to say 40 GB here. Processors running 281. Uptime is 7 minutes. It's almost 7 minutes. Launching the Linux distro from the start, I guess. Memory is 3.82 GB. Used almost 1.6 GB. It's 4 GB and it's almost 1.6 already. I think that's it. Let's type in htop. Htop is not installed. Let's try to install it. Copy and paste it and click on enter. It's going to take a few seconds, like 10 seconds, and we will be having a htop installed here. Here is our htop. Our memory is running around 1.1 GB or 4 GB, and here are the tasks 105. I think that's it. Let's close this thing and let me show you how to download the Ubuntu Cinnamon remix from their official website, or I'll show you how to download it normally. Here is our Firefox. Firefox launched pretty much fast. I thought it's going to take a lot of time, but no problem, it loaded up pretty fast. Our version is 3.1.0, which will be same in every Linux, in every Ubuntu flavor. Let's type in Ubuntu Cinnamon Remix 23 0.04 beta version. Let's go to Ubuntu Cinnamon Remix. Let's go to download. I think it's available or not. Let's go and check here. If it's not available here, we can go to Ubuntu website and download. It's not available here, no problem. Just remove all this thing and type in beta. It's still not here, but I'll show you. Let's type in daily build. Here it will be a latest daily build. A file size is around 4.3 GB. It's for computers, PC, AMD 64. Let's click on the latest version. It's almost 4.3 GB. Let's close this thing. This is the link. It's a daily build. If you want to test it, you can test it in your virtual machine. I already made a lot of videos on not a lot of videos. I made a video on recently of Ubuntu Cinnamon Remix. Here is the video. Here is my channel 3 days ago, and this is a beta version. Let me show you how to install this. I'm just going to show you the formality of installation. I'm not going to install it on my hard disk. It takes a few seconds to load, and we have our installation or installer here. First you need to choose your language here. I'm choosing English. There are plenty of languages. Click on continue. It's going to show us a keyboard layout. It automatically chooses the English. After choosing the English language there, if you want, you can choose anything you want after that too. I'm choosing English US both side. Click on continue, and here is the updates and other software. If you want to install it on normal installation, a normal installation will include web browser, utilities, office software, games and media players. It's the best you go with a normal installation, and the minimal installation will be just a web browser and basic utilities. It's better go with a normal installation. After downloading a 4.5 GB or 4.3 GB, it's better going with a normal installation is worth. And you can click or uncheck this if you want. It's better to check these buttons or check these options. So it's a third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi hardware and latest updates, which will save your time later. If you want, you can uncheck it and you can do it later after the installation. Preparing Ubuntu drivers, it's going to take like 40 seconds, almost 40 to 50 seconds. So let's wait. It took almost 25 seconds. Pretty soon, no problem. Here is the important or main step. This is the partition choosing step. If you want to choose erase disk and install Ubuntu as a single load or a single boot, you need to go with erase disk. This option is going to erase everything in your hard disk or SSD. Almost it erases everything, delete all the files. So be careful while choosing this option, and you need to know what you are doing here, and you need to have a knowledge of partitioning here. And this is the option to dual boot or do something else if you want, like resizing your partitions, all these things. So you need to know what you are doing here, and you will be having an install here now. If you click on it, it will install. It will going to ask you the username, password. Give that and confirm the password, and the installation will be started. After the installation, it's going to show you the finish button. After finish, you need to reboot and you will be having a Ubuntu Cinnamon Remix 23.04 installed on your PC or a VMware. If you're testing, it's a beta version, so it's better to test it on a VMware. Let's quit it. That was the formality or a process of installation. Let's try some of the desktop features. Here is our calendar and time in the bottom right side corner, and the volume. You can change the settings, sound settings, input, sounds, applications, settings, all these things. And here is our internet connection, Wi-Fi or wired. You can choose your internet settings here. Let's close this thing. We have a notification here. There are software updates available to download. You can go to notification settings if you want. Choose how to enable or disable notifications. If you want disable notification, disable it. Let's clear these notifications. Here is the taskbar settings or a panel settings. You can change anything you want, color, all these things. Center zone, right zone, choose anything you want. If you want to add a panel, you can add a panel on the left side, right side, or and also top. Wherever you can, you should add it. Here is our troubleshoot. You can also remove panel by click on this remove. You can even move, and the applets, all these things you already know and you already seen in other Cinnamon desktop environment. Let's open the few apps. Here is our Nemo 5.6.3. Let's launch few apps and check their versions. We didn't see our wallpapers. Let's check the wallpaper. This is the default wallpaper. Here is our Lunar Lobster wallpaper. It's good, but after watching for a few days, you'll get a bored on it because it is a simple one with no colors, just a solid, almost a solid red color. Not red color, it's like a maroon color, maroon or a brown. Wallpapers takes a lot of time to load. These are all the wallpapers. I'm not going to go through all wallpapers. Let's just choose any wallpaper here. We didn't get a wallpaper. Instead, we got a black screen there with Advaita, but the blobs are working. Here is our setting of wallpapers. You can slideshow, I guess. Play background as a slideshow. Yeah, you can slideshow it. You can choose the picture aspect, background color. You can choose solid, vertical, gradient, everything like that. Let's close this thing and let's open all the apps now. Calculator, calendar. Let's go like this. On the accessories, screenshot. On the games, these are all the common games you already know. On the graphics side, let's open GIMP, document viewer, document scanner, still gthumb. Let's open LibreOffice. Let's also open the photos. Let's just open these apps and check the version. LibreOffice is loading, so let's wait. This is the photos app. Version is 44 because GNOME version is 44. It's the latest version. We also have our LibreOffice opened. The version is 7.5.2.1, which is almost latest version. Let's close this thing. Photos version is GNOME 44.0. Let's close this thing. GIMP version will be, let's check the GIMP version here, which should be 2.10.34, and the pictures version will be, gthumb version is 3.12.2, Let's check the document scanner. Version is 44.0, which is the latest version. And document viewer, you can't see the document viewer version, only you can go in the store and you can see the version. And our screenshot version is 41.0. Calendar version is 44.0, and you can see here it's the latest version. We'll be having a left side and a right side. This is the latest version. Let's close this thing. About the calculator, which will be also latest version. Let's go on the internet, which I already showed the version of Firefox. Let's open the Thunderbird. On the Office side, I already showed the LibreOffice version and document viewer, so no need to show that. Let's open Celluloid and Rhythmbox. And the administration HTTP, I already showed the HTTP. Let's show the gparted. HTTP I already showed. The installation also I already showed it. There is a lot of loading going on here. As you can see, there's a mouse pointer is always on the loading side or a loading style. Let's open software and Synaptic Package Manager. I already showed the system monitor. What else we left here still? Let's see this printers. I think I covered everything. Cinnamon Remix is a lot of almost it. Even touching any app, it's just going to block you from opening other app by showing the loading mouse pointer. Here are all our apps. Let's check the versions. Let me first show you the printer version. 1.5.18 or 18, you can say it. Let's check the gparted. 1.3.1. Nice. And the Rhythmbox is updated software has been issued since Ubuntu 23.04 was released. You want to install? We have an update of almost 180 MB of updates we have here. As you can see, here are all the updates. Ubuntu base has also an updates. These are all the updates we are getting. I don't want right now, but let's just go with the remind me later. This is the Rhythmbox version. Let's close this, and the Thunderbird version should be 102, I guess. 102.9.0. Good. Let's close this thing. Let's go with the Synaptic Manager. Our version is 0.91.3. Let's drag this thing down. The highlighted one will be green box which are installed. So I'm just going to scroll it fast. If you want to change, or if you want to look it in a slow, you can go to YouTube settings and go to speed and change the speed to 0.25, and you will be seeing the installed and version of the package manager here. I'll show you. These are all the installed apps, and you will be having a version. I'm just going to drag it again upside so you can slow it down in the YouTube and you can look for your specific package manager version. Let me close this thing. Here is our app store. Let's maximize this thing and check the version. About software 44.0, which is latest version. These are all the apps pre-installed. I almost showed every version. We just left Photos app, I guess. Let me show that too. Photos apps version will be, and we have a bug here already again. Celluloid has closed unexpected. Don't send it. Our version is 44.0, which is latest version. I think I covered everything. I guess I covered everything. Just this gedit, a text editor. Let's check the version. 44.2. Let's go back and let's see the updates. Firefox has updates and GNOME 42.-2204 are the updates. I think that's it. Let's check the system settings, or a control center you can call it. Here are the few settings. Here is our system info, Ubuntu Cinnamon Remix, but it's under flavor of Ubuntu. It's going to show Ubuntu 23.04 Lunar Lobster. Here is our kernel, Cinnamon Desktop version. Let's check the themes here. What we have here, the basic or a common Cinnamon Desktop themes, which we will see in every Cinnamon Desktop environment. This is common, so I'm just going to skip it. It's not important. And let's go to our channel. This part is only for the people who didn't subscribe. If you're already subscribed, no need to watch this step. You can skip it, because people some people don't want to subscribe. It's no problem for me, but they want to watch my videos. So in order to watch my videos, just type in youtube.com/9to5linux. If you don't want to subscribe, just type this in the search bar or a search engine, or you can type it 9to5linux in the YouTube app. If you are using a mobile or a tab, it will take directly to my channel. This is the URL. No problem if you are not subscribed. It's up to you. I'm not going to ask you, because it's I'm not a person who asks for the subscribe. So it's up to you. This is my channel. If you are here only for the Linux videos, so go to playlist. You will be seeing a Linux playlist here. Under Linux, click on view full playlist. I made almost around like 1528 videos on Linux distros. I covered almost 70 to 80% of Linux distros. You will also see the latest versions of Linux distros and new Linux distros always, because I post 2 videos daily. I mentioned here, so as you can see, I mentioned here I'll post 2 videos without missing any day. I'm on a streak almost like years. I didn't miss, only 1 or 2 times I missed, but here is my timings. If you're subscribed, no need to watch all these things. If you're not subscribed, this is the timings. You can come here, come back and check this timings of my channel. There will be video posted. I think that's it. Let's check the system monitor at the end after opening all the apps. Before the beginning of the video, the system monitor was like 1.7 GB. Now it's 2 GB of memory consumed. It's almost 3 MB, 300 MB almost resources are consumed. In the beginning of the video it was like 1.7 GB, now 2 GB. If you want, you can compare both side by side and check how much resources was consumed. And the CPUs are running normally. And let's check the processes. These are all the processes running, as you can see. And I guess that's it. Let's end this video. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It helps make a good content for you. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out. And this is the sound of the Ubuntu Cinnamon remix.